imagine.
I know, right?
You go to open up that box. Absolutely not. I love a lizard. You guys know I love like a weird animal story, but I don't want anything jumping at my face.
Right, exactly.
Not when I'm on the clock either.
I know. I haven't heard of something like this. I think our program was even all scared. It didn't want to play the video.
Show that, yeah.
Yeah, too much to see. All right, stick around for Ask Andrew or a severe weather discussion. That's what we're calling it, right?
Exactly, yep.
All right, in just a few minutes here on the News 8 app, and then we'll have our 11 o'clock news for more.
All right, and then are you okay to give me a countdown? 15 seconds. Okay, those watching on streaming, we're going to start Ask Andrew in just a couple of minutes, but we've issued a brand new weather impact alert for smoke and poor air quality tomorrow and Wednesday. So we're going to shoot just a quick little 15-second promotion for folks in our marketing department, and then we'll get underway with Ask Andrew in a couple of minutes here. All right, 15 seconds and going in 3, 2, 1. We've issued a weather impact alert for both Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. As thick wildfire smoke comes back into the region, that means poor air quality. You can stream continuous coverage on the free News 8 app. Got it, thank you. All right, we'll start Ask Andrew in just a couple of minutes. Just kidding, guys, we're going to record it again because I forgot to hit the record button. That's a pivotal step when you're trying to record something is, actually hitting the record button. So we're going to do it again. Okay, let me hit the record button. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. All right, we're going to call this 7/27/26. All right, now it's recording. Excellent. 15 seconds, going in, 3, 2, 1. We've issued a new weather impact alert for both Tuesday and Wednesday of this week as thick wildfire smoke returns to the region. That means very poor air quality. You can stream continuous coverage on the free WQAD News 8 app. Perfect, thank you. And that is recorded. All right, good Monday morning, Quad Cities. It is 9:07 here on this Monday, July 27th. I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky. Welcome into a quick severe storm discussion here this morning. Also, you got a little preview of some behind-the-scenes activity there a couple of minutes ago. Appreciate your patience while we got some of that behind-the-scenes work done. Now we are here. We are ready to go to talk about another round of some high heat, high humidity, and the potential of seeing some scattered severe storms as we go into this afternoon. Now, you may be saying to yourself, yeah, you've been talking about this whole storm threat all weekend long. Nothing has materialized. What in the world is going on? Are we actually going to get rain today? Or is this going to be another bust of a forecast where nothing is going to happen? So I'm going to take you through the reason, why that happened this weekend, also why it could happen again this afternoon, and try to give you, with the best data possible, what we think is going to go down a little bit later today. We'll also touch briefly, too, on another brand new weather impact alert that we've issued for tomorrow and Wednesday. As you may have heard if you were watching the stream here a couple of minutes ago, we have a new impact alert in place for Tuesday and Wednesday, and that is going to be for very poor air quality as wildfire smoke comes back into the region. Let's kick things off, though, talking about the heat, the humidity, and then the storms. So today is, of course, a weather impact alert day that is mainly focused on the heat and the humidity, with kind of a side piece, if you will, for a stray shower thunderstorm that may briefly become severe as we go into the afternoon. But no doubt about it, just based on what temperatures are doing right now and very little storm activity on the radar, that we're going to get very hot, very humid again this afternoon. We had some areas down near Macomb reach heat index values pushing 120 degrees yesterday, and I do expect another repeat of that as we go into this afternoon. Everyone is under an extreme heat warning right now. We are not anticipating that to expand into the Chicagoland region, by the way. They have a different set of criteria. but I would anticipate you, if you're working outside today, needing to make sure you're heeding the advice. You're taking breaks in the air conditioning, staying hydrated. It's just going to be a very difficult day for anybody that has to work outside. Another good reminder, too, if you got a mailman, mailwoman, you're expecting packages today, not a bad idea to offer up that ice cold drink and maybe a little snack along the way, too, if you can. They would definitely appreciate that. Speaking of the heat, let's see what temperatures are doing now, because this has been another impressive rise here this morning, where we're getting these numbers surging into the 80s. It's nearly 90 degrees in Muscatine, but look at the heat index. 102 is what it feels like there. It's already 105 in DeWitt, 103 in Geneseo, and it's only 9:10 in the morning. We have not reached the hottest part of the day yet, and already we're seeing heat index readings surge above 100 degrees. Now let's focus on the storms. You can see some scattered lightning strikes there on the radar west of us into southeast Iowa. Closer to home, there's been this one lone cluster of storms in southeastern Jackson County. It's been holding its own here, but you can see there a lot of lightning with it. Nothing severe, no warnings, no watches in place right now. This is going to be crossing over the Mississippi River and eventually getting into Savannah. It's got a heavy downpour, of course, associated with it, and a good amount of lightning. What I'll do is I'll zoom out and we'll put the tracker on this. It's kind of been fluctuating in intensity, kind of ebbing and flowing, as we call it, heading in this direction here. So I think that's going to miss most of Whiteside County, but there you see Savannah at about 9:17, Mount Carroll at 9:34, and then Lanark sometime around 9:48. So the National Weather Service, in addition to us, we've been watching this, and I'm just kind of reading on their latest update here, a little bit gradually of an uptick in storms in kind of this region that we're focusing on here. So I'm going to zoom this back out, and I'll draw a little kind of polygon, if you will, where we're expecting some storms to continue to kind of fester and fire up for the next few hours. And that would basically be in this zone right throughout here. So this area is where we're expecting some storm coverage to continue on a scattered basis through now and essentially through, I would say, about 11 and noon. This is likely not going to be the severe weather threat. This is what we're seeing based on some of these little kind of quick hitting weak disturbances moving through. Now, should these storms organize a little bit more, and as they get into Illinois early this afternoon, especially these here into southeast Iowa, those could potentially turn severe. So we're going to keep a very close watch on that. But what we're mainly watching and tracking this morning in terms of the severe threat is there's a very large cluster of storms here in far northeast Michigan. Those are going to bypass us and head, generally speaking, in that direction. But there's a little bit of a boundary here, and you can kind of see it with a change in wind direction just north of Mason City. That boundary is going to be heading south and east with time, and as it does, it's going to be running into a very high amount of storm energy. And if we can't get a strong cap to form this afternoon, that will provide the focus for some widely scattered severe thunderstorms, especially on the Illinois side of the river. Now, you can see this morning we definitely have a very high level of storm energy. This is what we would call kind of a powder keg of storm energy. If something can touch it off and get going, it does have the potential to turn rapidly severe. Now, the stuff again this morning, we're not really expecting much with that, but as things continue to heat up and these temperatures continue to heat up, that will be something we're going to have to be tracking, especially as we go into the afternoon. Here's the storm zones. These were most recently updated by the Storm Prediction Center at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm going to zoom this back out so you can really see, kind of where the epicenter, where the start of the severe weather is going to be heading into the afternoon. And that is clearly here into portions of south central and southeast Wisconsin, and then all of that activity kind of swooping off to the south and to the east. So you can see it's our easternmost hometowns that are in this 3 out of 5 threat for today, through basically Elizabeth, Savannah, Clinton, down to Geneseo, Kewanee, points east. Those are the areas that may get clipped by some of these storms that form to our north here later this morning into the early afternoon and then push their way south. Today's risk, the 3 out of 5, it's all wind driven. There isn't much of a tornado threat, at least locally here. Don't see a whole lot of spin, but there certainly is going to be a lot of heat energy that will allow the momentum of those winds to increase substantially if they can get going. We're looking at wind gusts of 75 miles an hour or greater. I'm going to show you a couple of different scenarios as we walk through Future Track here. If you've been watching throughout GMQC, I showed you our in-house model, which just went gangbusters with storms this morning, and you look at the current radar and it's like, well, yeah, where are they? There was obviously nothing going on. So as we kind of pull this into the afternoon, kind of again showing that idea of that energy sneaking in from the north, but our in-house model has literally no storm activity over any part of the local area, kind of putting in what we call that atmospheric cap. It's essentially too hot to storm. The warm mid-levels of the atmosphere don't allow the air to raise up or rise up, and hence you have a dry afternoon and a dry evening. It's just hot and plain humid. So that's kind of what our current model is suggesting. But here's why, we can't put much stock into what most of the models are saying today. They really struggle with this kind of environment where there's a lot of moisture, very high levels of storm energy over a large area, and nothing like a strong cold front or some kind of strong feature to come in and generate storms. What they do is they see all these ingredients and they think, oh my goodness, we're just going to pop up storms left and right all over the place. And that's why our in-house model all morning long has just had this giant cluster right over top of us. Well, as I just showed you on the radar, there is absolutely nothing like this going on right now. Nada. So, we can't really count on this giving us an accurate representation of what's going to happen in the afternoon, at least with our in-house model. And that's okay. This is all normal. This is normal behavior for this type of pattern. It is nothing unheard of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch you to a different model. This is the rapid refresh model, which is doing a little bit better of a job showing what's going on this morning. And that again shows us the activity to the north, south of Lake Superior. All of that will begin heading to the southeast. And then what it does is it just provides kind of a glancing blow, if you will, of that boundary. And there you see by this afternoon a chance for a couple of widely scattered thunderstorms. Now, the placement there has it in southeast Iowa. Does that mean that's where it's going to be? No, but it gives us a good idea of what the coverage may look like as we go into this afternoon and this evening. So it's a very complicated forecast when it comes to storms today. I do encourage you to continue to check in with us. We're going to do another stream at noon. By then, we'll be able to see where these storms across Wisconsin are going to be heading, how far back to the southwest they're able to build, and I think we'll get a better idea of what's going to happen with storm coverage heading into the afternoon once we hit the noon hour. But with this kind of a setup, yeah, if we can get some good storms going, there will be some problems, especially when it comes to the damaging wind side of things. Also new this morning, let's go ahead and pull this up too. We did issue that weather impact alert for Tuesday and Wednesday. Low air quality due to wildfire smoke that will be returning to our region. So you're going to want to reduce your time spent outside, keep the windows closed, air conditioning on. While you're in your vehicle, there's that nice recirculation button. I highly encourage you to use that tomorrow and Wednesday as that wildfire smoke comes back in, and it will be coming back in with a vengeance. The difference with this smoke that's going to be coming in is the origination, where it's coming from. So this is actually going to be coming from, believe it or not, our country, the United States. It's going to be coming from Oregon and also parts of Washington. There are many, many wildfires ongoing there, and that smoke is going to be traveling right in our direction late tonight, throughout all of the day tomorrow, and most, if not all of the day on Wednesday. And you can see the thickest concentration of that is sitting right over top of the Quad Cities. So we expect air quality to tank tomorrow, perhaps as early as the morning, and then especially going into tomorrow night and also Wednesday morning, the air quality is going to be rapidly declining as well. So that is a very impactful weather scenario for everyone. That is where you start getting some of those unhealthy for all or unhealthy for most groups showing up on the air quality map. I'm going to show you kind of a preview of what's to come here for tomorrow. So this morning, yeah, we still have some lingering haze in the region. You can see there it's moderate air quality. But all of this really poor air quality sitting off here well to the west of us is going to be traveling in our direction. And you can see there are large parts of Oregon, also Idaho, that are unhealthy for most, if not very unhealthy. All of that will intensify and then make its way eastward late tonight, getting right over top of us as we go into tomorrow morning, when we expect that air quality to really begin to take another hit. So kind of unfortunate, tomorrow we're going to cut the humidity, we're going to cut back on the heat. A lot of us probably want to get outside, get a little fresh air, but unfortunately that fresh air is going to be very limited in supply due to that wildfire smoke making a comeback. I think we will see some improvement in air quality as we go into Thursday and Friday. That's because we're going to be switching winds right back to the south. And then we'll keep them there really through the start of the weekend as we bring back another chance of some scattered showers and some thunderstorms as well. So my goodness, what a busy start to the week that it has been. And it just seems like we keep piling on some stuff here, but wanted to let you know what's going to happen, especially with that severe weather threat coming in for this afternoon. Again, it's not a guarantee. Many of you have probably noticed, like I said earlier, over the weekend, it's been challenging. It's been very challenging trying to pin down exactly when these storms are going to form, when they're going to move in. It's an atmosphere that is extremely dynamic overhead. It's full of storm energy, as I just showed you. It's full of moisture. And, we got to watch these individual little disturbances as they come in here, because it only takes one or two of those to really kick off some activity and get things cooking. So we're going to continue to track that. We got time for a couple of questions, and I see we got a couple of folks in the chat here this morning. Thanks for joining me. And a reminder, we're going to do this again coming up at noon as well, and we'll see what's going on with the storms to the north of us. Right now, the only storm on the radar, non-severe, no watches, no warnings, just west of Savannah with some heavy downpours and some lightning. Good morning to our friend Riley. Probably has a question here. Wondering, is there a chance that the heat would move into tomorrow and Wednesday? As of right now, no. We think the cold front coming in tonight is going to scoop the worst of that heat and humidity combo to the south of us. So we will get a break from that, but unfortunately the wildfire smoke is going to be coming back tomorrow and Wednesday. A good morning from Billy in Clinton. Got some dark skies likely to your north. I'd bet on that, but no rain at this point yet. Yeah, it looks like that's staying to your north as of right now. Got a couple more scattered showers and some thunderstorms heading into southeast Iowa. Nothing on track to hit the metro yet. This is all sliding to the southeast. If you're curious about an ETA, got a minute or two here that we can go ahead and throw that on there for you. And there you see, Muscatine could get clipped by one of these as we approach the top of the hour here near 10 o'clock. Same thing with Burlington and also down into Fort Madison. Nothing severe. Got quite a bit of lightning there, especially on the southwestern flank of things, but as of right now, everything is behaving itself. Just expecting a good downpour, some lightning, some thunder, and that's about it for now. But again, we're going to keep an eye on trends as we go into this afternoon. Not a guarantee slam dunk that we're going to see severe weather today, but it is certainly worth watching, especially when you got all this heat energy, moisture sitting around. It only takes one little trigger to get the party started. So we'll see how that happens this afternoon. If you're wondering a time frame on when to watch, I would say specifically between basically 1 and 5 today. That's when we're going to have to keep an eye on the radar for some potential development here closer to home. So we'll keep tracking, see what's going to happen for this afternoon. You're now up to speed. We'll come back around noon right here on the News 8 app with another update before we get into the afternoon. By then, we're going to have a new outlook from the SPC, perhaps some weather balloon data as well to see what's going on in the mid part of the atmosphere. Be very curious to see if we're getting a cap forming or not. So come on back at noon. We'll do one more update here on this Monday. But until then, my goodness, please stay cool if you have to be outside. I'll catch you coming up on GMQC at 11.